Hey BookTube, this is Friday Reads. I'm Jen and I talk about audiobooks, and this week it's again a whole lot of romance. So I know I've kind of been on a roll with the romance, but I'm currently listening to a YA sci-fi book along the lines of Alien, which I'll tell you about after I tell you about all the other books. But interesting, and I've got some other things on tap too. So let me just get to the books that I read last week. The first was Good Luck Charm. This is by Helena Hunting, and it is narrated by Stella Bloom and Lance Greenfield. I liked this one a lot. This is, you know, the narration was largely unremarkable. And when I say that, I mean it was as good as narration should be. Probably above average. Not much above average, but somewhat above average. So, you know, I don't really remember enough to tell you anything about it. So that's always good, because that means that I was concentrating on the book and I didn't get pulled out of the story. So good narration by those two narrators. And I had not heard them before, so now I know they're good. The book is, it's a cute story about two people that were high school sweethearts, and they were gonna go to college together, and he was a year older. And he went on to college and called her up one day and broke up with her. He is a hockey player. He ended up getting drafted into the NHL, and she remained very close with his family. So his dad has had a stroke, and that's why he has come home. And he ends up getting himself traded to the team in the city, which is close to where he's from, in Minnesota, Minneapolis. So anyway, it's the story of their romance. So it's kind of an old friends to lovers, but it's really more of a hate to love thing going on. And it's well told. Helena Hunting is a good author. I've read a couple of her books and I've really enjoyed them. She has another series that's all about hockey, and then she has a series that it's been out for a while. It's about tattoo artists, I think. It's called, the first one of the books is called Clipped Wings. So anyway, I liked it. I gave it 3.5 stars and I rounded it up to 4. It was pretty good. Then I picked up Fight or Flight. This was an arc that I got from Penguin. It's by Samantha Young and it's narrated by Angelica Lee. And this is a contemporary adult story. And Angelica Lee I thought was going to be okay until I listened to her do one of the characters. There is a woman and then a man, and he's Scottish. And Angelica Lee started speaking in this guy's accent, and I couldn't get over it. I thought, wow. She went from an okay American right into this Scottish accent, and a man, no less. So her range was lower, her accent was spot on. I was really impressed with her talent. So good narration. But that was really about where my love for this book stopped. I have no love for this book, honestly. I DNF'd it after about halfway through. You know what, it was just not worth it. It was two people that met in an airport and they hate each other and they have a terrible relationship, and then they have a one-night stand, and then they go back to hating each other, and then they run into each other again. And it's like, why do you want to read that? It's like, we hate each other, we hate each other, we hate each other, we're gonna get together and have this one-night stand, and now we hate each other again, we hate each other again, we hate each other. No, that is not romance. I didn't care for that at all. So I DNF'd it after about halfway, and I gave up. Then I picked up Flirting with Forever. This is by Kendall Ryan, narrated by Andy and Zach, Andy Arendt and Zachary Weber, two of my favorite narrators for romance. They are my two favorite narrators for romance. And of course, it was spectacular. I love these two narrators. They always get it right. And Andy Arendt, I wasn't sure if I liked her for a long time, and then I follow her on Instagram, I follow her on Twitter, and I've even talked with her a couple of times on Twitter. But she is a wonderful person, and I'm just so impressed with her. And of course, that makes me like her narration. It makes me want to like it. And she has a very distinct voice, so you always know it's her. But she's just so good. She really is. And Zach Weber can do dialogue like He's the character talking. Like, I know that doesn't make any sense, but you don't feel like you're listening to a narrator do a character. You feel like you're listening to the character speak to you. Like, this is a real person telling you this story. I don't know how he does that. It's amazing, but it's so real. It's so natural. It's so, I don't know, it's not acting. It doesn't sound like acting. It sounds like just, you know, the way that people actually are. It sounds like you're right in the scene with them. So anyway, rave. This was a really cute story about three friends who, two guys and a girl who are really great friends, and one of them falls in love with a girl. And so it's not a love triangle at all, not even close. And it's all about this pact that they've made that they're not going to fall in love with each other, none of them. And oh no, now what do we do? So it was cute the way it played out. It was a really cute story and so well told. So I really liked it. I ended up giving it 3.5 stars, rounded up to 4. Then I picked up The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Jenkins Reid. And this is narrated from 3 points of view by Alma Cuervo, Robin Miles, and Julia Whalen. Robin Miles was amazing. She's always amazing. Any time I have ever heard her in a book, she's been amazing, because she is just such a talented actor, such a talented voice actor. She's done all kinds of things, directed, acted, just all kinds of things. And so she's amazing. And she was amazing. She was the voice of Monique. And Monique is called to the home of Evelyn Hugo, who is voiced by Alma Cuervo, who was able to capture this character perfectly. I could not have imagined anyone else having her voice. She just did it so well. And then Julia Whalen did kind of the voice of the tabloids, you know, the Hollywood gossip that's happening, little blurbs of, oh, Evelyn Hugo's in the news and she's doing this thing. And she kind of changed it up one thing to the next, which was really fun. So she didn't have a big part, but she did a really great job with the part that she did have. Okay, this is a story of a Hollywood movie star from back in the 50s when the studio system was in place. And that was when they hired you as an actor or an actress, and then they put you in various movies. So you always had a job with the studio, and then they assigned you which movies you wanted. Unlike today, where you get an agent and then you decide which movies you want. So Evelyn Hugo was a character that I didn't like at all, even a little bit. I just didn't. I think she was a woman who was in a world run by men. She was willing to do whatever it was going to take to get what she wanted, and what she wanted was to be famous. And she just kind of threw her morals right out the window. She threw her ethics right out the window. She would do whatever it took. She would manipulate situations to her advantage. And you understood in some ways why she would do that. Like, she would manipulate the paparazzi and the like the news reports, so that it would look like one thing, but in actuality it was something else. And it was the story of her life, and I didn't like it at all. I didn't like her at all, for all those reasons. And then Monique is dealing with her own issues, and she is influenced a little bit by Evelyn's choices and what she's hearing happened in Evelyn's life. And I thought that was not great. And then at the end, there's a little bit of a plot twist which ties it all together, and I didn't like that either. So, you know, here's what I have concluded. Jenkins Reid is not an author whose writing I appreciate. It and I don't get along. I don't know anything about Jenkins Reid as a person, but I can tell you that I don't like what she writes. I never like it. This is, I think, the 3rd book that I've read of hers, and I haven't liked any of them. So I know everyone loves this book, and it's got a 4-point-something rating on Goodreads. Clearly, everybody loves it, but me. So there always has to be some lone voice in the wilderness going, I don't like it. Well, unfortunately for me, that's me this time. So anyway, I gave it 2.5 stars rounded up to 3, and that was based on the narration because it was so good. Okay, let's leave that. And then I went on to Hard Sell, which is book 2 in the 21 Wall Street series by Layne, narrated by Samantha Cook and Zachary Weber. Love Zachary Weber for all the reasons that I've told you before. And then Samantha Cook, there have been a couple of times when I thought that her narration kind of was a little bit flat. But, you know, not so much that I didn't like it and I was like, well, forget this, I'm gonna read it in print. No, not at all. She was at least average, maybe a little bit above average. It's just that I got pulled out of the story a couple of times thinking that phrasing was just kind of flat. So, you know, Zach Weber then chimes in and he's like rescues the whole book and saves the day. And that's probably a little much, but you know, he was really good. So this was a fun story within this series. I picked up this series and read the first one last week, I think, and I really liked it. It's about 3 guys that work on Wall Street and they're filthy rich. It's about what kind of trouble they get into, and in this particular one, the boy wonder prodigy, who is the youngest of the 3, gets caught at a bachelor party in Las Vegas, and some photographs are taken which are misleading, and he gets like published on page 2 of the Wall Street Journal, and I mean, it implies that he's been doing a whole lot of what he shouldn't be doing, which he wasn't doing, but it reflects badly on the firm, and so they say, look, clean up your image or get a new job. And so he goes to the person that he cannot stand, but is the only person that he knows will do the job with all the things he wants. Like, he knows she won't fall in love with him. So, of course, you know, it's the story of their romance, and it's a sweet story, and it's just well told. I really like this series, and so I really liked it. I gave it 3 stars, and I think that it could easily go to 3.5, to be honest. So yeah, I like that series. I'll be looking forward to the next book that comes out. And I'm not a person that likes that whole rich boss thing in tropes in romance. I'm not a big fan of that, but this one's just good. So that was last week. Currently, I am listening on my new earbuds, by the way. These are MPOW, and I like them because they are magnetic. That is so cool. I like magnetic things. But I like that because you don't lose the actual earbuds, and it doesn't place a strain on the cords which run to the actual headset. I like that because that's when things go wrong, that's usually why these things will short out. And I have Skull Candy earbuds that I've really liked, but they keep breaking, and they have a 2-year warranty, so every time they break, I send them back and they replace them. So I'm waiting for those to come back again. So what I'm listening to is Contagion. This is by Erin Bowman, and it is narrated by Amy McFadden. And it is YA sci-fi, and think Alien, the movie, with Sigourney Weaver, the really old movie, Alien. Yeah, rescue crew answers a distress call to a planet that has a mining colony, and bad stuff is happening, and the woman who's in charge is a jerk and doing everything stupid. So that's kind of annoying me, but you know, it is what it is. So I'm about 3/4 of the way through that, and I have a feeling that somebody's gonna die pretty soon. Don't know, but I have a feeling. And I don't know if this is going to be a series. Probably it is. So it'll be interesting to see where Erin Bowman takes it. And then I'm going to pick up Fair Coin. This is by E.C. Myers, narrated by McLeod Andrews, whom I love. And I've been wanting to pick that up for a long time. It's a duology, Fair Coin and Quantum Coin, and it is all about alternate universes. And YA, again, I always seem to go to YA, but you know, I don't know. I've just been wanting to read it for a long time. So I'm kind of trying to slide myself gradually out of the romance thing, although I never completely slide out of it. It's just I need to spice it up with some other stuff once in a while. So that is the week ahead. Coming up on Sunday, It's the live show for the Happily Ever Afters book club, and we are going to be talking about Good Luck with That by Kristan Higgins. Oh man, this is going to be so good. This book tackles so many amazingly difficult issues. Amazingly difficult, man. Just the way she handles them is so good. I cannot wait to talk about this book with some people. And don't forget that when you come to the live show and you are commenting, you become part of the discussion. And I love that because that just makes it so much richer, and people pointing things out, and a great discussion, So I really hope that you'll come back on Sunday night for that. 7 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time right here on this channel. So yeah, I really hope I see you there. It's gonna be great. So that is it for now for me. Have a fantastic weekend. I hope that you are enjoying the weather where you are. I am sure enjoying this weather. Today it was 92 with a real feel of 100. I am so in love with this weather in this place where I live. And wherever you are, if you are enjoying pumpkin spice, whatever hot thing it is, God bless you, you can have it. Today I had a Starbucks refresher with strawberry and acai, and it was fantastic. So that's it for now for me. I will see you Sunday night, and thanks for watching.